Hi, welcome to week 4. I really enjoyed reading everybody's takes on the news quality infographic and want to offer some follow-up. Some of you agreed with the placement of the sources and some of you disagreed. None of you are wrong. That was the point of this exercise. We all have confirmation biases that are in play when we consume information. The author of this chart, Vanessa Otero, is not a media expert. She's a patent attorney with a particular interest in media and politics. She's upfront about her credentials and biases, and in a blog post goes into detail about her criteria for judging and placing sources. She has been found to be generally correct and accurate with her placements, though she admits that there is always room for interpretation and change. She states that, quote, "The fact that the chart is shareable does not necessarily make it true. I know that many people disagree with the placements of the news sources upon it. However, even people who disagree with the placements find the taxonomy helpful because it provides a baseline for a discussion about media sources, which are inherently difficult to classify. Often, verbal and written discussions about news sources are limited to discussions of sources as, quote, good and bad, and biased and unbiased. This chart allows for a few more dimensions to the conversation," end quote. The author created a blank version of this chart that I've attached here. If you're interested in how you might evaluate certain news sources, try creating your own version of this chart. See if you agree with the author or if there are major differences. If there are differences, try to evaluate why. What criteria are you using? How do they differ from hers? Note, this is not an assignment. You do not need to turn this in, and you can feel free to completely ignore it. But if it's something that interests you, it might be fun. I've also included the original in the Week 4 coursework so that you have it easily available and so that you can think about these classifications as you're evaluating your own sources for your essay. If there's one thing about research that I want you to take away from this course, it is that you need to analyze each source as objectively and thoroughly as possible. Try to identify your own biases and try to avoid confirmation bias when reading and evaluating evidence and facts. Don't accept things as true just because you want to believe it. As you go about your research for this course, and as you scroll through your Facebook feed, try to think about news sources you're encountering. There is so much clickbait and misleading crap out there on both the left and the right that it can sometimes be overwhelming. I'll never forget the time my mom, in a panic, shared an article from The Onion with me about LeBron James retiring. To help you, I've included a link to a quick article that provides 5 easy steps to help you evaluate news sources and avoid fake news, clickbait, and bias garbage. It's a quick read. Just read through it quickly and try to apply it to both your research for this class and for your everyday media consumption.